like football where you throw it with your hands.
Obviously.
Hey, you sometimes kick.
Juice Boy Joe will be there in person, kissing hands and shaking babies. All right. Oh, wow.
What was that?
1, 2, 3, 4.
Gentlemen!
Boys.
How high your voice just went.
Falsetto!
Falsetto, gentlemen.
Somebody's been huffing helium.
Guess I did. Sorry.
Oh, you all right, Joe?
Sorry. Yeah, sorry about that.
Take a moment.
Episode 18, 19? What do we call it? We had a bonus episode. 18. Official.
This is the reels.
Yes.
All right,
Welcome to...
the last episode was fun, but this is back to business.
Yes, we're back out. Welcome to the Juice Boys. I am the third turd, joined with my two brothers-in-law, the Sultan of Sift, Mr. Pulp. We got a potato. We got a squeeze of the week. We got multiple squeezes from listeners.
So
Yeah, seriously.
They missed us so much that they, or we had pissed them off so much they had to send it in.
I'll take either.
We got a Wheel of Degeneracy. How was our Thanksgiving, guys? The Juice Boys did a great job once again of being 2/3 in the same room. Joey and I were
Way to go, fellas.
drinking, gambling. Joey was sick as a dog.
I was sick as a
Oh,
I
no.
had to watch the entire Ohio State Michigan game in bed by myself with my Ohio State jersey. It was horrible.
I would just hear in the other room like, ah! While I was drinking his booze on his couch.
That was my violent
But
expressions.
the second day, Joey stepped it up.
I tried.
I don't know if he felt better or he just drank enough, but him and I got to yell at a TV like my wildest dreams came true.
That sounds
I
delicious.
just had to rally. Yeah.
Yeah, we gambled a lot. We did all the things. Chris, how was your Thanksgiving?
Yeah, way to
missed you.
degen it up, boys. So proud of the both of you for your dedication to degeneracy over the holiday. My Thanksgiving was spectacular. Spent it with my siblings out in Chicago. Had a less than ideal drive home as we drove through the night in the middle of the night through a blizzard.
Bad one. Yeah, not a good one.
No, it was not one of my finer choices.
Yeah.
Overnight storm.
Yeah.
All
through
what
the
you
night,
do for a sleeping baby.
just so that the baby could sleep the entire drive, which she was a trooper. So thankful for that. Not so thankful for my decision making. Good time.
Yeah, you crazies leaving at these crazy mornings. Cody left at 4 a.m. What's wrong with you guys?
I know Cody promised me a lot more of him bullshitting and blowing me up via text and on chess.com. I feel like both were kind of lacking.
I had to
were
drive
too
to 4 a.m. Yeah, I was driving that whole time. But also, shout out to Joe.
No.
The bastard was up at 3:30 in the morning to see us out and provided coffee and tea.
That's right, I did.
And he was sick. I almost cried. I gave him
dude,
kisses. I touched his butt. I was just
And
I
how
wouldn't do that
How
for
are
him.
you feeling now? Yeah.
Oh, I feel great. Now, I'm not going to do that for you guys, but
No, it's fine. I was already I was already awake. And with that congestion, you're not sleeping. So
True.
it was, yeah.
we really appreciate it. But boys, now that we're back in business, what are we drinking?
I'm gonna start.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna start. I beat
Take it
you
away. Take it away.
Hey, you did.
It's yours.
because
I'm
as
hanging
we were
on the
together,
edge of my seat.
Juice Boy McCoy brought in City Whiskey Holiday Edition.
I noticed that.
As you can tell, I've already
bottle
tapped
looks a
into
little
it bit.
dented.
Yeah, I've already tapped into
It's
it.
a little dented.
I left that house that was not open because we
was
stole
not.
our
Oh,
father-in-law.
It was
because
not.
Because
You
the
could tell
two of
there was
you.
quite a few hot toddies and trying to clear the sinuses in the past 48 hours.
we did
Stings the
that.
nostrils.
Yeah, we did that son-in-law thing where we steal our father-in-law's booze the whole trip and not open our own. So,
Yeah, that was a mistake.
It's a
didn't
great
mean to
move.
do that.
It's a great
But,
move.
I thought we were.
Oh no!
I mean, it
'cause we drank
doesn't-
all the rest of mine too. So it was.
Oh.
That
I
was
was-
so, yeah.
Chris, what are we drinking?
Yeah, so I'm traveling just down the road here for tonight's whiskey. I'm drinking the cask strength bourbon whiskey from the Hart Distillery down the road from me in Windsor, Colorado.
Cool.
Yeah, it's coming in real hot, 123 proof.
Holy hell! Yeah, that's big.
That's
I've
fire.
got a small pour and a generous amount of ice.
How much has that ice melt?
It's
Smoking.
it's warm in my hand.
Yeah.
I don't understand. It's somehow warming as I drink it.
Both drinking local.
Science.
Well, guys, the holidays are here, and this is actually from. Oh, what do you got, Joe?
No, I'm just my beer chaser.
Oh, you didn't do your beer chaser.
Joey.
I didn't do my beer chaser.
Give me a beer chaser. Let's go.
A beer chaser is something that's very near and dear and special to me because we cannot get it in Colorado. Sorry, I'm not drinking local. I have America's oldest brewery brought in from my mother-in-law, specifically from Kansas City. Hey, Yingling. It's not great, but it's a good old-fashioned beer, and I haven't been able to drink it since 2009 when I worked on a fishing boat in New Jersey. So this makes me happy. I had to talk about it. It will be this will probably be the whiskey chaser because this is not very good, but I love it.
I thought people love Yingling.
It's like Coors Light, you know.
It's like
not
a nostalgia.
good,
It's
but
like
great.
fondly thought of.
Yeah.
Not due to its quality, but just
It's always there.
it's kind of a
It's not
special
good.
thing.
It's not good, but it's great. So it's like the champagne of beers. You can never go wrong.
I see.
So thank you, Yingling. Please come out to Colorado so I can drink.
Well, since it's the holidays, guys, Joey actually made the wives this drink, and I thought I'd be interested in a little Caucasian.
Oh,
nice! Oh, White Russian brought by my wife. And Joey made a mean one a few days ago. So
yes, I did. I used to be a bartender back in the day.
Since December is now, since this episode comes out, I thought I'd go a little.
What's with the White Russians all of a sudden? My wife wanted one the other day.
It just seems.
Did she
right.
send you a picture of that?
Yes, I think that's what started this whole thing.
Oh, she kicked it off. Okay, of course she did.
Also, my chaser this evening is a little baby Christmas tree.
Sorry, this cough attack. I'm gonna mute.
Yes.
Joey needs a moment.
Yes.
Joey's got to have a moment.
Joey's still dying, but little Debbie, it's tis the season, if you will.
I'm back. All right, there goes the cough attack. But good for you. Good for
That's
you
my
for having a
chaser.
snack chaser.
Man.
Yes.
Joey,
First of its kind.
Joey, if this cough is going to impede my access to Joey Giggles, then what the hell are we even doing here?
I'm gonna try to push through, buddy.
Why are we
I'm
even
gonna really
here
try to
if we
push
can't
through.
all appreciate Joey's laughter?
We love Joey's giggle. The Joey giggles.
Gotta have him. Gotta have
Also,
him. That's the only reason anyone listens.
Joey, what are the 3 B's that we're bound by?
Brotherhood.
No, damn it, we're not getting this right.
I know I said the same thing last week. Booze, betting, and bullshit, baby.
Also, to show that we're all morons, we didn't connect the dots that the maiden name of all of our wives is Beatrice. So there's a 4th B that we just did not even come close to getting. Sports moron, gonna
Four
sports.
B's doesn't sound.
Yeah.
True, but I mean, how dumb can we be to forget on the Beatrice name? We apologize to the Beatrice line, the family line. Should we jump in the sports docket? We're going to end with college football because there's a lot going on there. Another NFL, what bubble team would you rather be right now as we enter big
Broncos.
games? Well, that was on the list. Broncos, Packers, Bills, Houston, Vikings, Rams, Seahawks. I pulled up some stats because we do
Broncos.
that. Okay.
Next question.
The Texans have a 61% chance to make the playoffs. The Broncos...
Not after this weekend.
Oh, your coming up game. Okay. Broncos currently have a 27% chance to make the playoffs.
Not after this weekend.
We'll see where that goes. Bills, where do the Bills go? Bills have a 14% chance. Oh, poor Bills.
Poor
Packers now have a 50% chance to make the playoffs. Rams now have a 40% chance to make the playoffs. Seahawks have a 36. Wow, Seahawks have dropped.
What happened in Seattle? Come on, boys.
Holy cow. So with that being said, now that we have I can't
Those
say.
statistics.
Sound it out.
Those
Sound it out.
statistics.
Come on, we believe in you.
Statistics. Now we have analysis and data to back it up. Who would you rather be?
Chris, go ahead.
Broncos. Next question.
Back it up. Back it up.
I mean, man, I will totally throw on my rose-colored Homer glasses and just be excited about a team that's been trash for the last 6 years, 7 years. Finally showing some fight, finally operating at the capacity that matches their talent level. I know that at some point in time, you know, this insane hot streak will cool down. I'm hoping that's more of a cooling down rather than a crash back to earth. But you know, either way, I don't know. I'm excited. I'm glad to see it happening. I think Sean Payton and Russell Wilson are starting to figure something out. And my God, feed Javonte the ball. For God's sake, get that man the ball. He is beautiful when he runs. Broncos create success when he runs. Let's go Broncos.
I think their major turning point was when they got rid of their two cancers that came from Nebraska and Kansas City, and Randy Gregory and Frank Clark. Once they got rid of those dudes, and Sean Payton was just like, hey, I'm not going to take any bullshit. I'm not going to do it. I don't care if we're paying you this money. You're out. Let the kids who want to play come in and play. And Nick Benito, Jonathan Cooper. They're playing their asses off, man. And they're blocking well. Russell is just running around and making plays happen. I think that they are definitely going to make the playoffs. This weekend is a huge game with the Broncos and Texans. A massive game. Now the Texans look really, really good, but I think this is where the experience of Russell Wilson is going to come in. He doesn't turn the ball over, and I think this is going to be a game where turnovers are going to be an issue. And the Broncos defense has been so good. I'm riding high in the Broncos. They're going to make the playoffs, dude. On the NFC, I like what's happening with the Rams. Kieran Williams is back. Matthew Stafford is slinging it. I'd like to see them. You never know with them. I could see them getting hot and continuing.
And anybody but the Broncos.
You can't. You hate to say it, but
I'm going to take the Texans. I'm just going to take the odds. 61% chance to make it. CJ Stroud's playing well, but I do think Joey's right. It's the Houston Texans are 3.5-point favorites against the Donkeys here coming up.
That is insane.
I think just the way the divisions are set up.
I was going to say they can take a loss this weekend and still have a decent shot.
Yeah,
like they've got the advantage that they're playing in not as tough of a division.
I was losing my mind when the Raiders were up on the Chiefs by 14. I was like, oh my God, if the Chiefs lose this game, the Broncos are only a game out of the division. But the Raiders pulled the Raiders.
Raiders going to Raider.
Raiders going to Raider.
Raiders going to Raider.
Yeah.
And the Chiefs going to Chief by just giving up a handful of points before they decide to clock in and pay attention for the game. So hopefully the Chiefs figured something out. All right, I guess that's who we want to be. Our quick hit list on college football craziness. Man, Ohio State, Michigan wins without their coach.
God.
Nebraska and Iowa attempted to play the game of football this last week. And me and Joey watched. We watched every
second. Rooting for
Iron Bowl ending was nuts, so nuts that our baby was crying because Joey and I screamed so loud at that game. Lots of coaches are out. Lots of big-ass buyouts. I think there's another $20 million buyout by the Indiana coach.
Indiana, yep.
Washington versus Washington State was a nutty game.
Great game.
Who's in, who's out for the CFP? Championship weekend is ahead of us. Chris, take us away.
Oh, man. I don't even know what I want to talk about here. I think that the storyline that stood out to me the most, which is the most ridiculous thing on the planet, is the Ohio State fans who want Ryan Day gone. Dude has lost 3 conference games in his time as a head coach.
Who were they all to?
They were all to Michigan, but has not lost to another team in the conference. And sure, lost 3 straight. That's a bummer.
Nobody cares about any other team in the conference, Chris. There's only one team that matters.
Harbaugh lost, what, 7 straight? They decided to be
True.
They decided to be patient with him, give him time to build, give him time to figure it out. And now look what they're doing. They're reaping what they've sown. They've got a legit shot. They've got a legit look at the national championship. And if you're going to say, all right, you get 4 years and you better not have lost to Ohio State more than 2 of those years, otherwise you're out, like then Ohio State deserves to plummet back down to earth and enjoy languishing in mediocrity with the rest of us.
But that won't ever happen. Ohio State won't ever happen. That can't happen. It's just
their talent level maybe, but like there's no guarantee. Like look at Jimbo Fisher at Texas A&M. They threw every bit of cash they had.
A&M's not Ohio State, bro. Ohio State can't be bad. The entire state of Ohio will catch on fire. Like they can't.
Is that such a bad thing?
with the river, from the train.
I was gonna say
already there, but
wasn't it all on fire one time?
Yeah.
No. I mean,
I don't think that's that bad of a take, dude. I mean, you have to win one game. That's it. The rest of the season almost doesn't matter. You cannot lose to Michigan. You cannot lose to Michigan, especially when they're on a 11. I think it was 11 years in a row win streak they were on, and you can't do it, dude. Now 3 in a row. No, that's the only game that matters. You ask any Ohio State fan, and they will take a win over Michigan over a Big Ten championship. That is the fact. Maybe not natty. Not natty. Everybody wants a natty, but if
I was gonna say they're heading into a new approach to the CFP where they're
gonna play each other
essentially
twice.
they're gonna be they're gonna wind up with the new way that the Big Ten is set up.
They're gonna dilute their own product.
It's gonna be the game, then the game 2.0 back-to-back weeks, then roll into the CFP. And Ohio State and Michigan are poised to where year in, year out, like at this level of quality, they're going to find themselves in more often than out. And so, like,
I don't know if it's a guarantee that it's going to be Ohio State, Michigan every time. You got USC coming in that they're going to have to prove something. UCLA is going to have
Lincoln Riley is going to have to find a defense for the first time ever. Jesus, I don't care about what USC is doing. I don't care about what UCLA is doing. Chip Kelly has UCLA trending in a more scary direction for the Big Ten than Lincoln Riley has with
true.
Caleb Williams at the helm. I don't care what UCLA is doing.
What about Oregon, bro? Oregon
is legit. Oregon is legit. Washington, we'll see if they can sustain the success.
So it's not a guarantee this can be Ohio State, Michigan every single time. It's a guarantee Ohio State will be there, but it's not a guarantee that Michigan will be there. And so it's just Michigan went through some rough patches. They're going to go back to it again when Jim Harbaugh is coaching the Bears next year, and that's going to happen. That will happen.
Are we taking we just posted this on some social, are we taking the kick six, from back in the day, Auburn, Alabama? Are we taking the 4th and 25 Hail Mary that Joey and I were screaming at?
Oh my God!
Both were at Auburn, so one
was it 4th and 25. 4th and goal from the 31, dude.
Yeah. Yes.
4th and goal.
The fumble from before. Back corner
of the end zone.
Which one are you taking? I guess all of our comments are a little bit more towards the kick six, but wasn't that game tied too? Like this was Alabama was down. This was
Auburn's
to win the game.
Football game. Auburn's going to win the football game.
Kick six. Kick six forever. I think the 4th and 31 will go down in the annals of Alabama history, but I think the kick six is one of the defining moments of this generation in college football.
Well, do you know why? Because Alabama lost.
It knocked.
Because Alabama lost.
It knocks them out of the national title.
Yeah. And that's what makes that a more epic moment, because that was just heartbreaking. Watching Auburn lose. Auburn lose like that was just heartbreaking.
There's nothing more Auburn than coming that close to sniffing victory and then to just give it away.
In a mediocre season. They're 6 and 5.
In the most obvious possible way. Oh my God. Yeah, nothing more Auburn than that.
The kick six was more exciting because you saw it build and you watched it go and you're like, oh my God, he's going to make it. This one was just a straight shot to the heart. You're like, oh, and I remember I was screaming at the TV, like, why are they not rushing? Why are they not rushing him? They brought a 3-man rush and just let him go back there and pick his spot. And that dude's got an arm. And I said, I was talking about earlier in the game. If he sets his feet, then he's gone. And no, you can't do that. You cannot do that. Get a rush, make him try to run for it. He's not going to run 31 yards to score. You just let him sit back there and find his receiver.
Dang. We encourage everyone, go join the debate. It's on our Instagram. Which ending do you think is better? And you can check out the one from the kick six. It is epic, and the audio is on there, so you can see how Joey was close on his.
I don't have that Alabama twang.
Gotta have that Southern twang. Yeah. Well, boys, that'll do it for the sports docket.
Music, man.
Play that music.
Time for your favorite segment ever, Squeeze of the Week, our most outlandish sports takes from the week. Guys, we have 2 listeners submitted one.
I'm so excited.
Or 3. I'm sorry, we have 3.
I was going to say, I didn't know either of you brought one, but I knew we had 3.
I don't think so. Holy cow. Where do we start?
Fellas. Oh, I'm giddy with excitement right now.
Oh, boy. Let's start with, this is Mike from Georgia. I think he has given us a potato.
Number 2? Yeah. I remember Mike from Georgia.
Yes. He, here. Oh, he DM'd us. DM'd us. At where, Joe?
Juice Boys Show. Juice Boys show.
Ooh.
All right.
Pour it on.
Outlandish take alert. Being a fan of an elite college football team, Ohio State, Georgia, Bama, for example, is worse than being a fan of a mediocre to above average team. As an Ohio State fan, anything less than a playoff appearance and a natty is a failed season. No random bowl game matters. It's national championship or bust every year.
Disagree. Michigan. You got to beat Michigan.
I don't get the same joy as my Auburn fan friends when they win 8 games after expecting to only win 6. Or if they upset a team because, as an Ohio State fan, it's expected to beat everyone and compete for a natty every year. That's my take. Go Buckeyes. Also, keep up the great work. And then after Ohio State loses, he said, see what I mean? 11-1 means nothing. Season's over.
Yep.
Ryan Day might be out the door, although he has a 55-7 record.
Oh, my God. His
So-
all-time record is 55-7 there.
Yep. So Mike says being a
Wow.
fan of an elite college football team is worse than being a fan of a mediocre or above average team.
Oh,
Boys,
man.
let's sift.
Let's ask Chris, who was a elite.
Let's sift.
Chris was an elite fan at one time. Now it's mediocre fandom.
What
So how does that feel?
What comes to mind for me is the pressure is privilege. You know, I mean, to say that it's worse, what a god awful take.
Yeah.
I could certainly understand that, like, there's a higher intensity, a higher tension, a higher level of expectation, and you know that has you feeling amped up, that has you feeling that constant intensity. But to say that it's worse, absolutely not. I watched my Nebraska Cornhuskers piss away every possible opportunity to win in the Scott Frost tenure in the most frustrating. It was almost cursedly like the universe was working against the Cornhuskers to continually come up with the most insane ways to lose games. Yeah, I don't want to hear shit about, oh, woe is me. I have to watch my team go in and steamroll and wonder if somebody's going to go and get a good shot against us that really shouldn't. Nah, not a chance.
I agree. I like the take.
You're sifting
Because-
and you like it.
I like it because I was that fan for 20 years, being a Patriots fan. And I
I'm
knew
learning how to
that-
be that fan right now.
And every single Sunday, I was packing up my lunchbox, and I was going to work, you know, and it was just, I was strapping in. It was not enjoyable. All right. It was not
True.
enjoyable to where every single second of every single game mattered that much to me. Now that the Patriots suck, I can watch other games and I can actually be like, oh, football's kind of fun. All right. But for 20 years, it wasn't fun.
No, it's a
It
work
was
day.
it was anxiety and arguments and just trying to having to defend the undisputed fact that Tom Brady is the greatest living American, and I had to do that every single week. So I get it, man. It's hard. It's hard being a fan of a dominant team. Now, do I like watching the Patriots suck ass? Absolutely not. Am I even watching them suck ass? Absolutely not. I can't. I'm not going to give my money and hard-earned time to watch that fucking train wreck, you know. But it's just, but when they get their crap together, and I'll be right back to it. So I guess I'm on both sides right now. I'm enjoying football, but when I was part of the real deal, man, it was exciting.
How about Tommy DeVito, huh?
Oh,
10
man,
to
he
10
is.
to 3. What was the score? I didn't even want to bring it up,
Yeah.
Joe, but damn,
No,
what
you
was
don't
it, 10 to
need to
7?
You don't need to, dude. It was a baseball score. You know, it was watching
Holy
Iowa.
cow. It
You
was,
know, it was,
yeah, which game would you rather watch, Iowa, Nebraska, or the
Oh,
Giants
Iowa and
the Patriots?
Nebraska all day, because at least theirs was actually good defenses and not watching just putrid offenses.
Dude, shout out to the Iowa quarterback. That's a pudgy boy. That is
Hoss.
that's a corn-fed
Hoss.
motherfucker right there.
6'2", 260.
With man
That
boobs.
Big Ben Roethlisberger fan.
Yeah,
He was if Ben Roethlisberger had no skill. That's what he was.
yeah, that
It
was
was-
it. It was just
That
you
was
can't-
that was it.
Yeah. And now Iowa is in the championship game. Championship game against Michigan, and they're not even projected to score a point. Not
I'm gonna
one.
agree, I'm gonna
There's
agree
a
with
line
Mike,
right
though.
now of their total of 0.5. There's a line out there. Their total of 0.5. Are they going to score a point?
I don't know how they do. I mean, they couldn't get yards on Nebraska.
I'm taking it.
But I'm gonna.
You're
I bet
taking the
you are.
under?
Shocker. I'm gonna agree with Mike though. Before we go to the next one, just because as a Chiefs fan, I'm seeing that right now. It is. It's just tough to watch every single game, every single moment. You are supposed to win. You're at the point where if you win, you move on with your day. If you lose, it wrecks your whole week. So
And
I understand
everybody
it.
has it out for you too, especially when you're a Patriots fan in Colorado. Every time the
Yes.
Patriots lost, which was 2 times a year for 20 years, my room would be destroyed, and whatever team that they lost to, all the kids loved watching my pain.
Same with me. I'm the token Chiefs fan of a lot of Colorado people. And also
I
to
can't
Mike.
wait till you come back.
So Mike, we got a half garbage take on 2/3 are with you. Thanks for sending that in, Mike. But there's some.
I like the
pulp there.
pulpiness when it splits.
Here we go. Next one is from Dakota in Wyoming.
Cool name, Dakota.
So my hot take: if you were an alien and you came to Earth yesterday, and that was the first game you had seen Jordan Love play, you would think he was the greatest quarterback the Packers have ever had. This was on November 20th, so that was 2 games ago.
Yeah.
So a Packer fan, how I feel, I absolutely hate it. I've completely resigned myself to the idea that the pack is dead and we need a high draft pick in order to try to start to rebuild this right. Even when this team wins, they're disappointing. That win doesn't mean shit. It does nothing for this year other.
Oh, it's so hurtful because it resonates so deeply.
It does nothing for this year other than move us down in the draft, and we need it. I don't want the false hope that Jordan Love is a guy. That road leads to heartbreak and sadness. I like seeing some of the younger guys come out and have a good games, but damn, it's too little too late, and Jordan Love is about as consistent as a new small business owner and their marketing budget. Small business owners can be a little inconsistent with their marketing budget. So what do we think of Dakota's hot Packers take?
Well, first and foremost, as a small business owner, go fuck yourself, Dakota.
Okay.
No, seriously. I don't get why Packers fans are so quick to give up on Love. Like, he's got comparable stats to Rodgers when Rodgers was first coming in. He's finding ways to win. They're streaky, they're inconsistent, they're scrappy, they're ugly, but still that win column doesn't look too bad. I think you stack some better talent around him as far as, your skill positions, maybe give him a little more stout of an O-line. But honestly, like, I don't get why they're so set on sailing on this guy that they've been working on and keeping in the rafters for how many years now. Give him a couple years. Let him see if, all that learning, all of that development behind Aaron Rodgers is actually going to allow him to turn into something decent.
The Packers have just been spoiled for
That's true.
40 years of consistent, outstanding, top-level MVP quarterback play. Jordan Love, come to the Pats. I'll take you all freaking day, dude. Are you telling me that you're upset about Jordan Love being your quarterback? Have you seen Mac Jones throw a football?
I guess you don't feel bad for anybody.
Have you seen Mac Jones play football? I mean, it's just absolutely not.
Joey's seen what can happen when you hand off the reins after a generational quarterback talent.
Dude, okay, this is a real statistic. It's mind-blowing how crazy these things happen in real life, but it's real. Aaron Rodgers and Jordan Love, through their first 11 games in their first season as a full-time starter, Rodgers, 2,599 passing yards, 21 total touchdowns. Jordan Love, 2,599 passing yards, 21 total touchdowns.
Wow.
Both of them were 5 and 6. Stop it. Stop it.
Seriously.
The kid can play. The kid can play. Give him some time. He can move. He can throw. He's got a quick release. I like what I see out of him.
I think the NFL just is too quick. Like we talked about with Bryce Young. Everyone's too quick to write these youngsters off. There's also less. I think me and Joey talked about it over the weekend. There's just so much less time, so many less reps for young quarterbacks right now. So they are learning on the fly in very valuable NFL games. They're not playing in preseason anymore. Plus, there's only 3 preseason games. Plus, there's less training camp. Plus, there's less off-season stuff. It's all voluntary. So I think you're right. We got to be patient with some of these youngsters, especially if he's already compared. His numbers are comparable to Rodgers at that age. I think it'd be very
comfortable.
Yeah,
exactly the same.
Yeah,
Exactly the same.
I like the point about Packers fans having been spoiled for decades of like how much hubris just drips from this email in saying, yes, please move us up the ranks so that we can go draft our next Aaron Rodgers, who we're guaranteed to just happen to find.
Yeah.
He might be
Waiting for
him.
us.
He might be him.
You know, he's the exact same story as Rodgers. Sat the same amount of time as Rodgers. Was a first-round pick, just like Rodgers. Started the same exact the first 11 games of their career. What are you worried about? I mean, it's just like you're not 2-10, whatever the hell the Patriots are, man. I'm angry. I'm angry.
Joey will just loop it all back to him.
Yeah.
Also, Chris, I think you've said hubris the last 14 episodes. I think you're on a streak of.
It's
Your word.
the single word that defines my life the most.
Are we sure of what it means?
I have no clue what it means. I'm a moron. Chris, do you know what it means?
I think
do,
it means
but I'm
like
not
the
going to tell you.
audacity, the gall.
Oh, yeah.
So-
Is that not right?
Are we actually taking? Are we actually taking?
Yeah.
Are we actually taking time in the podcast to talk about word definitions?
Yeah, because I don't know if I'm hubris.
We have to educate the
So
morons.
hubris is basically being overconfident in yourself to the point of putting yourself at undue risk just because you are overly cocky.
The actual definition is excessive pride or self-confidence. So you are using that correctly.
I know.
Imagine that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna need you to lower the IQ about 12
Yeah.
here. Chris.
Remember, we're sports morons, but we're spelling geniuses.
Well, Dakota, you're full of shit according to this three.
Yeah.
Ding, 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 ding.
Breaks.
I like to take
Your
though,
breaks.
but I mean, just get ready, buddy.
Very
Get ready-
outlandish.
Get
Very
ready for the next 3 years of even worse than it is now.
We got another one. James from the UK.
What?
What?
Our
That's a
first
different country. Someone
international
check their map.
squeeze?
Someone
Our
check their
first
map.
International squeeze. I love it.
He called us out a few times, boys. So get ready.
Okay.
Well,
on
Oh,
previous
he comes ready to
potatoes.
fight.
Yes.
How'd it go last time that the Brits tried to fight Americans?
Oh.
Let's go, baby.
Oh.
I'm
Okay.
gonna bail you guys out again like WW2. So,
All right, my squeeze. American football is a giant scam for the players.
a giant scam for the player. Now, them's fighting words.
Okay, here we go. It starts in
Oh.
college, where for decades they've maintained the facade that these are student athletes. People put up with it in hopes of making it to the NFL with their athletic commitments that they're not studying.
mhm.
Yet, look at these college coaches making millions of dollars. However, the players are just students, so shouldn't earn money. Nowadays, they
Okay.
should be grateful they at least get to earn from name, image, and likeness. And he also references a book that we should read. Awesome book by Joe
Yes.
Becerra on the dubious history of the NCAA.
Ooh, I would
Then they
love
get to the
read that.
NFL via the draft. You're the hottest prospect of this year. But wait, you don't decide what team you sign for. Oh, it doesn't matter how amazing you are. Sign a rookie contract and like it. Ooh, he's picking up steam.
I
Imagine
don't
any
hate it
other
so far.
I'm ready to combat. I'm ready
You ready?
to combat. Yep.
Oh, I can't wait.
imagine any other job. You've completed your programming degree. Microsoft select you in the draft for $50K a year. But in the free market, you could earn $100K from Google. Or you live in Texas, want to stay there because you're nuts, in parentheses. But the draft says San Francisco wants you. Wow. I'll let us sift through that. He also calls out our past potatoes with a list. So we can.
A list of spoiled potatoes?
Okay. Well,
Yes.
let's get first to that topic.
All right, James.
All right.
All right, James.
Let's get
Please,
first to
Joey.
that topic. First of all, there's a lot of what you said that I completely agree with. Yeah, the NCAA is probably the second most corrupt organization in the history of the world behind the
Yeah,
Catholic
calling it
Church.
dubious is probably even generous.
So
Yeah.
it's I agree with everything you're saying. It's an absolute joke that Jimbo Fisher is going to make $74 million over the next 8 years and not coach football, and they are profiting that much off of basically. Before NIL, you can look at it as like, South Park even did that episode on calling it modern day slavery, where Cartman goes in there dressed as a plantation owner and says, "Oh, you're student athletes," and just like it was hilarious. And so it's like, yeah, I completely understand that. Where I disagree with him is I love the idea of a draft because I don't like the fact that the top level teams can just get better and better and better and better. And I know James is getting that because of the European soccer system. But a European soccer system, even in UEFA Champions League, you only have legitimately like maybe 6 teams out of the entire continent of Europe that are good enough to win every single year.
Oh.
I mean, like every single year.
Way to pull
You
that
know,
out.
it's going to be Man City, like Manchester United, maybe right now. Man City's dominating lately. Liverpool had a good run the other year, but then you look at the other leagues. Bayern Munich's going to make it every single year. All right, Juventus and AC Milan are going to make it every single year. Barcelona and Real Madrid are going to make it every single year. Why? Because they have those names, they have those money, they have that money, and they can go out and pick whoever the hell they want to come and play there. So if that's how the NFL would be, the Dallas Cowboys would win every freaking season. Every single season. Why? Because they have the most money. They have the best things that they can offer, and they're America's team. They have the history behind it. Absolutely not. If that's the way, you would never have a chance to have those out of nowhere teams come out and win or compete. You got to have an opportunity for other teams to select somebody and get there. Carolina made a Super Bowl with Cam Newton. Would they have gotten Cam Newton? Hell no. All right, hell no, that's not going to happen. Look at Jacksonville Jaguars right now. Their entire franchise is turned around because they got Trevor Lawrence. Mm-hmm. All right, so the draft is made for that reason. I don't like the fact that's what I agree with, but I understand. Yeah, the NCAA is nasty. Damn, that was a rant.
I can't believe you pulled that much soccer out of your ass. That was
I love international soccer. Yeah, it
was very impressive.
Anything to add, Christopher?
Oh my God, how could I?
So he's full of shit.
He's got points, but he's jaded by European soccer.
I think there's more points for nuance.
Notice how I'm saying soccer.
The true way.
Just rubbing his face in it.
We play football where you throw it with your hands.
Obviously. Hey,
you sometimes kick.
Yeah, sometimes.
The Iowa Hawkeyes play football.
They do.
Punts.
Punt, baby.
We love punts.
Yeah.
James, thanks for the notes and the link to
a book.
I
can I halfway agree? Like I agree with the
NCAA slimy.
Players.
Yeah.
NCAA. Yeah, like I said, to call it dubious is being overly generous. The NCAA is downright corrupt, but is so old and so well funded that it's just this like vestigial like old thing that is slowly being eroded. And I'll be excited to see kind of what happens in the next 10, 20 years to college sports. But like, yeah, right now that all needs to change.
All right. And he called us out on some spoiled potatoes here. So golf round, and man, in one of our first handful of episodes,
working it out, doing nothing but golf.
Yeah, so
we're out here just winging it, and James is like, no.
We got
absolutely not.
Early listener, James. We really appreciate that.
I love it. I love it.
James, I could tell James is my boy. All right, I could tell. Yeah.
So we had a potato on who would you want your dream golf pairing with? So he said golf round. How could none of you choose Michael Keaton, the original Batman? His dad is Buster Keaton. Oh my gosh, his stories must be legendary. I don't know. I'm going to disagree with on that one.
Explain who Buster Keaton is.
Yeah, I didn't know Michael Keaton was Buster Keaton's kid until you read that statement. So that's why
it was a Buster Keaton.
Buster Keaton is one of the original silent film, kind of like a Charlie Chaplin. A lot of the craziest stunts.
Yeah,
you see those black and white.
A lot of really dangerous stuff.
Yeah, and it got it on film and is considered, cinema history now. But
wow,
I would disagree on that one.
I can have some conversations with Michael Keaton about Batman, and
he said team to suffer after a player or manager left. Oh, that was a small little thing that we talked about.
Yeah.
When I said the Bulls after Jordan left, he said Manchester United post Sir Alex Ferguson.
That's a great point. They have been. I mean, you can't say trash. They're close to the top of the table, but they went from being the powerhouse for 20 years. Sir Alex Ferguson, maybe longer, 40 years.
He gave stats: 528 wins, 114 losses, 168 draws, 13 Premier League titles, 2 Championship League titles, plus some domestic. Also, and then he had his third point: best player turned manager was Pep. Say the name again, because I'm not even close.
Guardiola. Yeah.
Wow.
Pep is awesome, dude.
So James has been taking notes and just decided to slam us over a single. Thanks for being efficient.
Through James, we will all hone our international chops, and I think we could all probably use it a bit.
Holy
James, we
cow.
can talk
Except
football.
not all
we
of
can,
us.
we can talk.
Joey clearly is heads and shoulders above
Yeah,
the other two morons.
We can talk football, American football, and soccer all you want, buddy.
Or
I'm
maybe
ready.
the war in 1776. That'd be a fun.
Yeah, let's bring that up. Let's talk about that.
Let's go. Joey, how can people submit their squeezes of the week?
That was abrupt.
That was. I'm kind of afraid.
Tighten your butt.
Well, shiver down your spine.
All right, listeners in America and obviously all around the world. Thank you, James. You can submit your most outlandish sports takes or just belittle our takes.
And Dakota.
And
Mike.
Dakota. No, I mean, Dakota's not all around the world, bro. Dakota's in Wyoming. Like I said, it's like a kind of different country. Yeah.
Okay, essentially.
So, yeah. I was saying all around the world. Obviously, I don't discredit any of our listeners. So you guys can submit your most outlandish sports takes or make fun of our sports takes by emailing us at juiceboyshow@gmail.com. That is juiceboyshow@gmail.com. Or send us a DM on Instagram at juiceboyshow. And if it has the pulse, we will read it on the show. Chris!
Joe!
Who's sponsoring today's show?
Fellas, I need to be honest with you both. All those spectacular products we've been featuring thus far on this podcast,
Oh, no.
I'm sorry, I've been making them up for funsies.
Oh.
But I've really enjoyed my... Did you just give me a pair of khakis that said they were Harbaugh brand khakis?
I did. I can't believe you didn't. I can't believe you didn't notice. I actually misspelled Harbaugh.
Well, I don't know how you spell it.
That's fair. And I will be living with that shame of having lied to the both of you for the rest of my life. But luckily, all that changes today. Because today we have our first actual honest-to-goodness advertisement for a company that actually exists. So today's episode is brought to you by the Moonrise Art Studio. The Moonrise Art Studio is a local art studio based in Bailey, Colorado, and her artwork will be featured this upcoming weekend at the Winter Makers Market at the New Belgium Brewery in Fort Collins. The market will be open this Saturday, December 2nd from 11 a.m. till 5 p.m. And our very own Juice Boy Joe will be there in person, kissing hands and shaking babies. So stop on by and tell him why maybe that's a bad idea. Also, dear listener, if you're like us three morons, December 2nd is obviously way too far in advance to start your Christmas shopping. And lucky for you, you can also view Moonrise Art Studio's available artwork at their Instagram, which can be found at moonrise, all one word, .art.studio. Again, that was moonrise, all one word, .art.studio. So fellas, you both know I have about as much taste in art as Mark Davis has in picking barbers. But I swear, if you choose to buy some Moonrise Art Studio art, you'll be running the risk of people actually thinking a couple of cavemen like yourselves might have a bit of taste. I myself have a custom Moonrise Art Studio mountainscape piece hanging in my office, and I loved it so much that I actually hired her to paint a family portrait for me soon after, and I expect both pieces will be hanging in the Louvre any day now. And I know what you're thinking. The local artisans are either way too expensive or completely uninspired. But with Moonrise Art Studio, you can get Jimmy Garoppolo level beauty at Brock Purdy level prices. Because she offers custom artwork in addition to beautiful pre-made options at any price range. So make sure you look her up today. Once again, that Instagram handle is moonrise.art.studio. That's moonrise.art.studio, and support a wonderful local business while taking care of all your Christmas shopping.
Holy crap, are we a real podcast now?
I am.
Fellas, we might be a real podcast all of a sudden. I don't know what the hell just happened. I blacked out. How did we
The honor that I feel right now is palpable. I mean, it's just, you can feel it in the air around me. I wish you were next to me. But it's
That's just gas, Joe. That's just gas that you.
Is it? I mean, I don't.
I feel something.
Fantastic. Please support local artisans and continue to listen.
Yeah,
to the
seriously.
show.
Yeah. And
Enjoy.
And I will see you.
Pictures.
I will see you at the Makers Market in New Belgium, kissing hands and shaking babies. That's right.
Absolutely.
And you, listener, can buy Joey a drink.
You are welcome to do so. I think I'll be there as well. I think we're going.
There you go.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm not in charge of knowing how my days are spent.
I mean, the booth's only going to say me. It's going to say Juice Boy Joe. All right,
That's
so.
fine. That's fine. I'll be in a corner somewhere hiding behind a ficus.
It's not featuring Chris. It's featuring Juice Boy
Thank
Joe.
you.
Yeah.
Fantastic artwork from Moonrise Art Studio. Done fantastic work at the local schools as well. So please support Bailey. Love it. Love Moonrise Art Studio. Awesome.
All right, guys, let's move into the big potato. Very starchy weekend in Thanksgiving. This week's potato. Going a little bit more simple. Favorite or most epic sports venue in history that you'd like to have visited? Joey, you had a list, I believe, so I want you to start it off.
I do have a list. And this is one that unfortunately I never made to in my lifetime. But I synced it with my eyeballs. Okay, but I never went inside of the building, but the stories in the history that happened inside this building, I think makes it the most iconic venue in something we don't talk about a lot, but National Basketball Association history, NBA history. And I'm taking the old Boston Garden as my favorite and most iconic sports venue in history. Now, normally when you today, you think of this as a stadium as this just glorious, almost monstrosity. All right, you look at AT&T Park, whatever the hell it's called now, Jerry World. You look at SoFi Stadium. You look at the new stadium in Tottenham. Holy hell! All of it is just about comfort, all about size. Boston Garden was about none of that. And that's what made it absolutely fantastic. All right. It was built in an old warehouse. All right. And it continued to keep that style the entire time it was in operation. They never updated it. All right. When you come in there, this was a famous quote. He says, "Inside is a labyrinth. Narrow corridors, stairwells, pillars, ramps. Solve the maze, and there it is, the garden, with its steeply pitched seats in ancient parquet court, hot white lights, Celtics and Bruins championship banners hanging from the ceiling, and the organ playing. Sweet home or unrelenting pit, depending on your viewpoint." Now, Bostonians absolutely loved this place. All right, but if you were a visitor, this was the most hated place you will ever play in the history of sports. This another quote. "This building lacks air conditioning." No air conditioning. Okay. It lacks an adequate sound system. There's no escalators. It had plastic seats. There's over 1,000 obstructed view seats. Most seats are behind the baskets. So this was just absolutely incredible. They kept this going forever, and it finally came to like this realization that they cannot really let this happen anymore in the 1987 NBA Finals, right? The Lakers were winning until the temperature in the building reached 97 degrees. It was 97 degrees in the Boston Garden. And this quote here says, "The Lakers didn't know what hit them." All right. They ended up losing 121 to 103. It says, "But at least they survived with an oxygen canister. The Celtics exuded oxygen and cooled themselves with wet towels. The Lakers' Kareem Abdul-Jabbar said, it was like going to a local steam bath with your clothes on and doing 100 push-ups, then running back and forth for 48 minutes.
Wow.
And so it was just, the place was an absolute shithole. The rats were the size of cats. It was just dripping everywhere you went, but 16 championships in that building.
Chris beat that.
Oh my God. I certainly can't beat that. I always hate going after Joey. I can't beat his narrative stylings. I feel like
I was
I
a
can
history
beat
teacher for 10 years, dude.
Yeah. Which is why I feel bad that I'm pulling the rug out from under you and taking the option that I'm taking. Because I'm going with the Roman Coliseum.
Let's go.
Yeah, that was off limits. That was supposed to be off limits. Everybody was
it?
That. Oh, well, never
I didn't
mind.
know that
Go
it
ahead,
was
sir.
off limits. Man, so I want to go with the Roman Coliseum, not just because it's almost 2,000 years old, not just because I think it's badass to watch people fight to the death. I want to go back to a specific time in the Roman Colosseum where they would flood the Colosseum and bring in warships and have live reenactments of naval battles in the Colosseum, thus making it the first and only time someone was excited about an above ground pool. It was 2,000 years ago, hasn't happened since. I want to have been there for that moment.
I think just that, the engineering marvel that is that building is absolutely incredible. Just
how much do you think? How much do you think some wine was at the concessions? 3 coin.
1 Roman head. Sorry, not an actual head, like the
one
coin
head of a Roman.
Just anyone, any head will do.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go a little more modern. Chris. No one said Madison Square
Garden. It still exists. It's modern.
Madison Square Garden, guys. You want to know what happened?
It does still exist. You're right. The Coliseum is more modern than old Boston Garden. Well, Boston Garden's gone.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Suck it, McCoy.
All right. Fair enough. Well, the Madison Square Garden, guys. What hasn't happened here? I'm just looking at the list. The Knicks won the 1970 MIG championship. Rangers won the 94 Stanley Cup. The fight of the century. Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier in 71. 2 popes have visited there. Marilyn Monroe sang happy birthday to JFK in 62.
That was in Madison Square Garden? What?
Yep. Sinatra's main event concert in 74. Elvis played there. John Lennon played there. The Stones, Bob Dylan, Madonna, Elton John, Stevie Wonder, The Who, U2, Bruce Springsteen, and of course, Katy Perry, Taylor Swift, and Luke Bryan.
Obviously.
Bing Crosby and Bob Hope were also there in 68. I mean, I've never been. I would love to go. How could I forget? It was home of Lynn Sanity for 2 weeks of our life.
Right.
How could you forget?
My brother's graduation, the graduation speaker talked about Jeremy Lin. I'll never forget that. I was even thinking, that is dumb. I was like, that is not going to age well. But, yeah.
And it hasn't. Joey, number 2.
I'm going to take another Boston icon. I'm going to take Fenway Park. Fenway Park. Fenway? I have been to Fenway. I've been to Fenway several times.
I thought that's not been.
No, I'm just saying there's best venues in history. You want me to take Fenway? Okay. Let me ramble off some Fenway takes, and I'll take something else. All right, because I've got a list.
I've got a list. That's okay.
All right,
I think
we're fine.
All right. So Fenway Park.
Potato.
Fenway Park right now, as it stands, is the oldest ballpark in America. Now, if you're talking about most iconic and best sports venues in history, you have to say Yankee Stadium, but I hate the Yankees. All right, so I'm going with what I believe is, for baseball purposes, as the most iconic and most unique and best stadium that any team, not even baseball purposes, that any team of professional sports plays in. All right, it was built in 1912. All right, so talking about history, the opening weekend was ruined because the Titanic sank. All right, that is how old this stadium is. All right, it has survived 2 fires. Every time that they've had to rebuild it, it's just gotten better. They just added on something better. So the first time it burned down, they had to rebuild it, and they rebuilt it, and they realized that there was this massive, major road, this travel road that they couldn't get around, Lansdowne Street. So what they do? They just built the stadium around it and built a 37-foot wall in left field. They're like, Lansdowne Street's right here. We should make the fences longer. Nah, let's just go up. Let's just go up. And when you see it in person and you see a 37-foot field, 37-foot wall out in left field, you're like, what the hell is that? It is just absolutely bizarre. And the best thing that they did to change that stadium and to keep it relevant was to add those monster seats. Now, the monster seats up on top are the coolest seats in baseball. Only because of how iconic they are. For actually viewing the game, they suck ass. You from eye level, you can only see the diamond, because everything else is directly underneath you. So if you are not on the edge and looking straight down, then you're just hoping, you're just waiting for the crowd reaction. But just being up there and catching home runs is absolutely amazing. The green monster, its most iconic thing, wasn't originally green. Did you guys know that? People don't know that. The walls were not green until 1947. So think about that. When Ted Williams hit his 400th season, the wall was brown, but we just never knew because it was in black and white. So like some of these most iconic things that we know about it just keeps evolving and getting better. Fenway Park, boom.
Joey, Chris, you got to back it up again.
You know, I feel all of us going for prestige with these picks. For pick number 2, I'm going exclusivity.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm going with the Rungrado 1st of May Stadium, which is aptly named because it opened on the 1st of May in 1989 and is the world's 2nd largest stadium by seating capacity. Obviously hosted on the Rungra Island of Pyongyang, North Korea. Where North Korea hosts its professional soccer matches.
Who do they play?
Each other. I want to know what North Korean professional soccer looks like as the sole Westerner that's probably been there in 30 years.
Wow, you pulled that out.
Dude, isn't it like, I think it's the largest stadium in the world, isn't it?
According to Wikipedia, it's the second largest.
Well, okay, so it is hilariously, disgustingly big, and I can't believe you went there, because I used to show this awesome video of this guy who snuck into the country as disguising as a Canadian, because he was a Canadian, but he was working for an American news source, and they brought him in to see a game, and since he was a tourist, it was all under total protection of the North Korean government. He was the only person in the entire stadium. It's 130 or 140,000 person stadium.
It can hold a maximum of 114,000 spectators.
Yeah.
Insane.
He was the only dude in it.
Just
watching
that dude
a North Korean
and a bunch
soccer
of dudes
team.
with guns.
Yeah, he was it. It was hilarious. They put on the whole thing one man.
I want that. I want to be that one guy. And it just turned to one of the dudes with guns and be like, when does the hot dog guy come around?
Where's the cart girl at?
Yeah.
Hot dog?
How much do you think a beer is there?
Butt scratcher. Butt scratcher.
I mean, a beer is relatively affordable, but you have to trade your entire family's sovereignty for 3 generations.
Yeah.
I guess don't bring us home. I don't know if I can beat that.
Cut there. There's a deep cut there. But
oh man. Well, Joey mentioned I'm going to go the OG Yankee Stadium.
there you go. I couldn't do it.
Let's see. 1, 2. There was 3 more popes that graced Mass at Yankee Stadium. Muhammad Ali lost to Ken Norton in 76.
He lost it.
Let's see. Army Notre Dame, 1946, considered the greatest college game ever played. That was at Yankee Stadium. What else we got? The first NFL game was in 1958 at Yankee Stadium.
Wasn't the greatest game ever played supposedly by the Giants and the Colts with Frank Gifford and Johnny Unitas? I think it was 1956 NFL championship. I think that was there. Yep.
I believe so.
Wow. These are some deep cuts by Joe here.
Yes, obviously it's
stringing these potatoes together.
It's the house that Ruth built. I mean, there's the most the golden age of baseball. Yankees won how many? 26 World Series titles, 35 AL pennants, 15 East Division titles. Thomas Edison invented a special style of durable concrete to build its outer wall with.
So Thomas Edison was alive. That's enough to say that when he was building this, and that's incredible.
That is a stadium I would like to visit. The first audience was 74,000. That was the first audience day, the first ballpark, 74,000, and 25,000 had to be turned away. So it was also a spectacular place everyone wanted to go to. Huge. It was on the bucket list until fucking Steinbrenner decided to have his own house that Steinbrenner built.
And build this new stadium where you hit a pop fly in the wind and it's out. Mm-hmm. It's horrible.
Dang. Well, that'll do it for the potato. We're in the holiday season.
Starchy today, boys.
Remember, friends, you can now listen to the show on all major podcast networks, including Google, Spotify, Apple, and now YouTube. If you're enjoying the show, please consider following and rating the show and leave us a review. Let's get some more reviews. I want to hear how you guys.
Please. We'd love to.
They were funny. Let's let them go. Even if they're bad, I want to read them and just laugh at them. But just let's go, please. Let's constructive criticism. Give us a review if you listen through Apple. We encourage you please follow our YouTube channel. Also, be a friend. Tell a friend about the podcast and follow us as well on Instagram at Juice Boy Show. Juice Boy Show. Juice Boy McCoy, back to you.
All right, that almost does it for us. Chris, who are our picks sponsored by this evening?
Fellas, today's picks are brought to you by another public service announcement. Fellas, it's with a heavy heart and tearful eyes that I announce the official derailment of the Josh Dobbs hype train.
No.
Oh, no.
We had a good run. The Josh Dobbs hype train was officially derailed on Monday, November 27th. After a spectacular 12-week, it was derailed by simultaneously giving known clown Matt Eberflus his first divisional win, in addition to being the first team this season to lose to a team who never scored a touchdown.
Oh, God.
With this crash also went the Vikings' hope of ever being relevant during the Kirk Cousins era. But hey, let's remember the good times. It took 5 years and 9 different teams for the Josh Dobbs hype train to finally leave the station. And sure, the ride only lasted 12 weeks, but those 12 weeks shocked the NFL community at large. And for that, we salute you, Josh Dobbs hype train. And I know, had Josh Dobbs not returned home to Mars last night, he would tell us all not to cry because it's over, but smile because it happened.
It's true.
So thank you to the Josh Dobbs hype train for these last 12 weeks worth of memories.
Thank you, Josh Dobbs. Thank you, Josh Dobbs.
Hopefully he can get back on the train.
Start a new train.
Yeah, I like
A
that.
second train.
Chris, how did we do last week? Who's in the lead? It was our Thanksgiving picks.
Oh man, yeah. So fellas, another mixed results week. You two each went 2-1.
Yes.
Wheel of
Damn it.
Degeneracy went 1-2, and then I followed it up with another offer.
Holy
Oh,
shit,
So
Chris.
I am totally,
Christopher.
which is wild. Like once again, I'm on an absolute blazing hot heater with my actual gambling, but totally just shitting my pants when it comes to making these picks. So if
Is
that's,
it because your actual gambling isn't your picks?
I think so. I mean, I talked about expected value betting on here.
Yeah.
Everybody like it's a legit thing. Go look it up.
Yeah.
So Juice Boy McCoy is still one up with you with 19 wins. Joey 18,
God.
14 for the Wheel of Degeneracy, and me with 10. So we'll go Juice Boy McCoy, then Joe, then me. We've already pre-spun the Wheel of Degeneracy.
Perfect. I'm going to start us off. Lions -4.5.
You son of
Against
a
the-
gun. I had that.
Against the Saints, yes, the Lions lost, and it was a pretty bad loss for Thanksgiving, but that's just what they do on Thanksgiving.
I'm going to call you out real quick because you're looking at the wrong lines again. We do DraftKings, bro, and it's -4. -4. That half a point's a biggin. But you're still going to take it.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Okay, so if they win by 4, you're screwed, dude. You understand how the gambling works.
No, you've got it reversed. They would have to
That
have
helps
won
me
by
more.
5 beforehand for him to
Push if
cover.
It's -4.
But that's better
Yeah,
than.
but before that would have been a
You
loss.
don't win. You don't gamble to push.
But I'll take a tie over.
Yeah, but now you. All right, Joey, what's your first pick?
Lions -4.
But I'm going
Back
to
again.
take the Denver Broncos, baby. Denver Broncos +3.5 at Houston. I think that this is an absolute slap in the face to the Broncos, who are on a 5-game winning streak and beating really good teams along the way. So I don't know what else the Broncos need to prove to not be an underdog to a team who's the same record. Taking the Broncos +3.5.
I'm going to go ahead and go with Oregon, Washington over 66.5. Two offenses are coming in insanely red hot. It was high scoring last time they played. These two teams know each other well. Both of these quarterbacks are playing for Heisman contention.
Yes.
I see both OCs taking that seriously and letting them just sling it.
Oh, my new favorite nickname for my brother-in-law Nick, who's a huge Bo Nix fan. I heard it today. Blow Dicks. Oh, that's just hilarious. It's just absolutely hilarious. So we'll see if Blow Dicks can pull it off, being a 9.5 point favorite, but I like. It's crazy to say that, but me betting the unders with Iowa, I like the over in that. I do. I like the over.
I'm taking the under on the Cardinals and Steelers. Not a lot of points getting scored in that game.
Under 41.
Taking
I like
Alabama
that
plus
look.
5.5 over Georgia. I think this is gonna be a field goal. I think it's gonna be a field goal game, and so I don't know if I think Alabama's gonna win the game. I do. After last week, I think Alabama's gonna win the game. As much as I hate it, as much as I hate Alabama, that's my pick this week. Alabama plus 5.5.
I'm going. I'm being a coward. I'm going Falcons Jets under 34.
Oh, you did
Coward, that's a smart bet.
It's just so low.
Oh my god, it's so low. But like, who do you see scoring? Like, neither one of these teams bothers to bring an offense, and both of them are bringing, decent to legit defenses. Like, I don't know. This game could wind up 5-3, and I wouldn't be surprised.
All right, I'll wrap us up. Third round. I'm taking the over for Iowa and Michigan, JoJo.
You're going the over?
I think so. I think Michigan will bring it home.
Then this is definitely going to be the tiebreaker for us. I'm riding the Iowa under, baby.
Really? No
I'm
idea.
riding the under, all right? Now, it's 35.5. There is no way in hell Michigan's going to score 36 points on Iowa. All right, and now I say that because I don't think Iowa's going to score a point. All right, and so I'm going to take Iowa plus 23 and the under of 35.5 for this game, because I think Michigan's going to win this game 12-0. I mean, it's just going to, that Iowa defense is nasty. They are nasty. There's a reason why that they average 15 points a game and they are 10-2, because that defense is legit. So let's go Iowa, and I hate Michigan, so let's go.
All right, for my last pick, I'm going Eagles plus 2.5. You're telling me that the Eagles, who just won a scrappy game, coming back home, you're gonna give me points? Like,
At home, too.
Yeah, I'll take that all day. Like, I know that the 49ers are resurgent right now. I think the Eagles are scrappy. They figure out ways to get it done. All right, so we've got the Wheel of Degeneracy back. We went ahead and decided that spinning to whittle from 6 games to 3 just took too long. So we are going with Miami, Ohio at Toledo, Georgia at Alabama, and Cardinals at Steelers. And we are spinning the Wheel of Degeneracy.
I think you changed someone's name on there. What the fuck are you doing?
Yeah. Joey's taking shots each of the last 2 weeks. So now
yes.
we've got away spread, home spread, over, under. Cody takes a shot.
No whammies.
Please. All right. Oh, wow.
What was that?
What was that? It has never made those sounds before. Oh, my God.
Bow!
right,
It didn't hit Cody. It didn't hit Cody takes a shot. So it's bow.
It's sad about Cody not taking a shot. All right, so we've got the away spread, which puts us with Miami, Ohio, plus 7.5 at Toledo.
No, I don't like that. I want Toledo.
Plus now, next we've got Georgia at Alabama. We are going to go ahead and give Cody a shot, hopefully. Under. Oh my God, it sounds like it's mad at us. All right, so Georgia at Alabama under, which is 54.5 points. And then last we've got Cardinals at Steelers.
Why is that so funny?
I have no idea. Let's give her one more spin, see if we can give Cody a shot here.
No.
Over.
Why is that so
No, it's so bad. All right, so we've got the over for Cardinals Steelers, over 41 points. We're going to go ahead and just give her one more spin just to enjoy the sound.
Cody takes a shot.
Oh, I'm sorry, the game's over. We can wait till next week.
All right, we can wait till next week. All right, Cody takes a shot. Stays on there until Cody takes a shot. So.
Oh gosh, you know what, boys? I don't have a segue to end the show, but that's the end of the show.
Wow,
No segue this
that
time,
crashed harder than the Josh Dobbs hype train.
Oh, ouch! May the train rest in peace. Thank you for
he's still
joining
back.
us.
Yeah,
We're back. Shout out to Kendall for us dedicating fucking 20 minutes of our last episode only for her Lions to get their ass beat on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, thank
Shout out to you.
Oh, man, I felt bad for her on that one.
Dear Lord.
that
We
was
dedicated
sad.
most of our show to her little essay.
I
that
lost a
bullshit.
lot of money. I was betting confidently after that rant, but
Joey
bullshit.
was ready to run through a wall.
Thanks, Kendall. You no longer get 20 minutes of our show ever again. Love, love, love. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Oh, that was the same Z's.
Yeah.
Bye.